Everybody, it is Qqcknd and welcome back to Tattoo Talk Tuesday. Tattoo Talk Tuesday, if you are just joining us for the first time, is our weekly interactive Q&A where I, as a tattoo collector, lend my experiences to you as a curious audience, or whatever you decide you are. Here's Ethan. Anyway, my cat loves me. For you guys who say it looks like your cat doesn't want to be picked up and held, he will not leave me alone. If you've ever been on my Instagram, he sneaks into every picture. So this week we are going to talk about tattoo pain and different places associated with pain on our tattoos. Do we like my septum ring? I'm gonna take it out. It's distracting me. I'm not used to seeing it. Thumbs up if you know this face. So I get a ton of questions like, does your tattoo hurt? Did this tattoo hurt? Did that tattoo hurt? That's gotta hurt. And I wanted to have a whole episode dedicated to places and where they hurt. Before I get into anything at all, I do want to say that tattoos hurt. And if you are going to get a tattoo, you have to recognize that it will hurt. And I kind of phrase it like this. It's only gonna hurt as long as you're getting the tattoo. So if you're like, oh, I'll just get a little tattoo, I mean, that will hurt for less time because it is gonna take less time. Tattoos are gonna hurt no matter what. You're gonna run into people who say, it doesn't hurt, I don't mind it, I like it. And you're gonna run into people like me who absolutely hate it. I hate being tattooed, it hurts. And right now, I mean, I'm just wearing this like bummy t-shirt. I didn't even brush my hair because yesterday, I'm gonna coin this phrase, I am experiencing like a major tattoo hangover. I am in my bed right now. This is like my blankie because I was tattooed yesterday in my armpit, and this red is all new too. And I have had a headache, I just want to lay in bed, but I can't get comfortable. I think these are the symptoms of a tattoo hangover. I will say though, confidently, that there are places that hurt way more than others, so I'd love to get into it. I'm not going to be super mobile in this video though, so expect a lot of flashing photos of tattoos that are mine, because I could barely put this shirt on. Starting from the top of the body down, I was told this once by the guy who did my tattoo removal at Qcknd. Your tattoos heal best from the core out. So with that, tattoos on your fingers and tattoos on the tip of your toes are going to heal more slowly than tattoos closer to your heart, here, sternum, down. And I also kind of relate that to pain as well. For me, my most painless tattoos have been on my arms and legs, but I think that feet are an exclusion to this because my feet are not tattooed at all. I am terrified of getting my feet tattooed because I think of like the foot knuckle as being very difficult to tattoo. However, I do relay this more so. I believe the wrist didn't hurt so bad, but the closer you get to the bicep, for me, the skin is precious and kind of soft and not really exposed, and I felt like the needle kind of just slipped right in there. However, like I said before, my heart tattoo didn't hurt that much because there's nothing really to it. The only thing I had to sit through was this entire outline, so obviously it didn't hurt that bad. Please don't touch me. Moving on to the other arm, you can see that this is more detailed, it has more shading, but I was laying for that tattoo, so I feel like the position that your tattoo artist places you in can also lend a lot to your comfort level. For example, the tattoo I had covered that used to be here, it was text that wrapped around my arm. You can kind of see it in my tattoo removal vlog, but I had it removed. For that tattoo, the tattoo artist actually had a paper towel roll that he wrapped in saran wrap. This was one of my first tattoos, so he had that in saran wrap and he had me hug it to make that skin tight so he could tattoo it. And holding this paper towel and really focusing on staying in a position that I kind of was forced into really made me stressed out, and I think it made the tattoo hurt more because of the position, that it wasn't a very natural position. However, yesterday when I had this tattoo, to cover it up, Mark Cross had me laying, which was a very natural position for me. So even though my armpit hurt excruciatingly, I believe that the position made it feel a little more natural, and because of that, my body was more relaxed. So if your tattoo artist can ever have you laying down, I feel like this is the most natural position for you, and you can feel more at ease. When I had my thigh tattoo, I was sitting up, and I had to put my arms back and lean back. And although this feels like a really natural position, after about 45 minutes, my arms and my fingers got numb, so I had to switch on and off how I was positioned. And I also feel like that lent a lot to the pain of my thigh as well, because you're thinking about how much the tattoo hurts and how much the other parts of your body are beginning to hurt as you strain for the position of being tattooed. So ideally, tattoos that I receive while I'm laying down hurt, but they only hurt that part and my body isn't as strained. I would say, however, getting my armpit tattooed yesterday was painful, but I did use numbing gel. I have a review all about numbing gel. I had the back of my knee tattooed as well. And these are both spots that I would normally say are insane to get tattooed. The skin is very thin, very not normally exposed. If someone touched my armpit, even this armpit, I think I would freak out. So I did use numbing gel for these, and I don't think I would get tattooed in these places without it. So I have a video all about how I had the back of my knee tattooed with the numbing gel. I'll leave that link down below. Even with the numbing gel though, I would say I was really lucky that I only got a spider web in there, because I had to practice a lot of the same breathing techniques that I used to use when I was being pierced. Breathe in, receive, and as you're receiving, breathe out. And by receiving, I mean the needles touching your body. So breathing in, zzz, breathe out. Focusing on my breathing did help, but I would not get that tattoo again. Originally, we were going to get a rabbit coming out of a hat, with the black hat and the rabbit coming out, so the rabbit would be in the armpit. And once I was looking at that picture, I was like, I just can tell you right now, I can't do it. You do not have to be a tough guy to be tattooed. I am not a tough guy by any means. I don't like needles at the doctor's. I don't like needles at the tattoo shop, and that's fine. I don't think you have to earn your tattoos, and you can have sessions if you want. So that lends me to my next tattoo, and that is my ribs and my sternum on the core of my body. Like I said, I think that these tattoos, the center, heal the fastest, but they are the hardest to receive. I do not have my chest tattooed. I can't even effing imagine. If you have yours done, you can lend your experience in the comments below. I couldn't reach out to any friends who have it done in time for this video. My sternum, I just have a bee tattoo, and some of you guys might know that I was actually supposed to get 2 honeycombs on the side of each bee, but I had a really hard time getting the sternum tattoo. The problem with this was, as the needle, don't lick me, as the needle went into my skin, I felt like my breathing, the in and out for the hard spots, was a little hard, so I had to hold my breath each time, and then as he picked up the needle, tattoo, tattoo. That was hard for me. I see people all the time who get their sternum done as their first tattoo, and I think you are badass, because I couldn't do it. I thought it was really hard, and focusing so much on my breathing and breathing in and out, I think also added another level of difficulty to the tattoo as I was receiving it, which I think just made it even harder to get. But I do love it, and maybe one day I'll get those honeycombs. So the hardest tattoo I have ever received anywhere on my body, harder than, I don't know, my scarification, I almost said getting my wisdom teeth removed, but that was kind of hard, was my ribs. You guys have seen my rib tattoo. It is a shark that extends from the bottom of my torso all the way up to the side of my back. And it is fully detailed, and it is not necessarily a traditional tattoo. It's more of a neo kind of new school, if I had to label it. I just thought it was like a new school traditional tattoo. So it has a lot of shading, a lot of transitional colors, a huge palette. You see these people with all the different little cups of color. It was kind of like that. That was the hardest tattoo I have ever received. That tattoo took over 6 sessions, and you guys kind of know all the trouble I went through for that tattoo. So if I would have just had it done in one session, maybe it wouldn't have got me in so much trouble, but there's no way on earth I ever could have received that tattoo in one session. And when I found a tattoo artist to finish it after the first tattoo artist didn't want to anymore, I actually brought a friend. I brought my old roommate with me to talk to the tattoo artist while I was being tattooed, so I could focus on their conversation while I was getting the tattoo, because it was so painful for me to receive. I had a really hard time breathing. I had a really hard time focusing. The tattoo artist who finished it, his name is Martin. I thought he was so cool, and he's like vegan and everything cool, so I brought my roommate with me at the time so I could just listen to them talk, because not even that I needed to focus, I just needed to be somewhere else because it was so painful to me. And this is one of the only tattoos I received that continued to hurt throughout the week. Back when I started getting it, it was excruciating to me. I could not get out of bed. When I would have to wash it in the shower, it hurt so badly that I would have to like curl up and brace myself to get hit with the water because it was so painful to me, even a couple days after receiving the tattoo. And that is the only tattoo I've ever experienced that with. I do think it's because of the largeness of the tattoo. Every session I got was huge and just more saturation of color on top of color. Normally I just get traditional tattoos where that isn't totally a thing. There isn't like a ton of color blends. It's more like big blocks of color. So I just think I was not ready for this kind of tattoo. It was not in my experience level. All you guys with new school tattoos, throw your hands up, because I cannot get tattooed like that. It hurts me so badly, and then it hurts me throughout the week. I'm not looking forward to getting my back tattooed. I did set a date for that, so April 4th is my first big session on my back tattoo, and Mark Cross did tell me that I have to be able to sit for 6 hours, so YOLO. However, it's going to be a traditional tattoo, so I hope that it is a little bit different while it heals rather than this one. So I do think, depending on the tattoo you get, there is an entire other level of pain that you have to expect, or at least be aware of, because I can easily say that that tattoo and the tattoo on my hip were very hard to receive. This tattoo on my hip here, you may remember it from the white tattoo and all my other tattoo videos where I mention it. Tattoos I forgot I have video. It's just, it covers a lot of bases, and it's not even a tattoo I think about. That tattoo is also more of a new school kind of painting style of tattoo, and that one hurt a lot too. I did get that one in one session though, and it was my second tattoo that I ever got. So there was a ton of stuff I didn't know when I got that tattoo. I did not know that I could ask for a second session, or like tap out, as they say. So I actually got that tattoo all in one sitting. I didn't know a lot of breathing strategies. I wasn't really pierced back then, and sitting for that tattoo hurt so badly. The artist wasn't really communicating with me, and the way the tattoo shop was set up, each tattooer had a cubicle that you would go into, but the cubicle had windows, like not with glass, but big openings. So people would walk by and lean their arms in and watch me get this tattoo, which was a lot of pressure for me too. So I think just all of that really hurt the tattoo. My legs were pretty easy. The top of my thigh, like I said, closest to the core of my body. My thigh hurt, but I also have like thicker thighs, so I don't know if that lent anything to me. My biggest tattoo on my leg did hurt, but again, it's a very dark tattoo. It has a ton of shading. It's very large, and we did the whole thing in just 2 sessions. And like I said, I was sitting in a way that was like, don't like. The rest of my legs down though, pretty easy, just the feeling of a tattoo. And because most of the tattoos on my legs are small, I probably receive them all within like 1 or 2 hours. So I can generally be tattooed for like 3 hours. And then after that, I gotta do something else. I gotta eat. The pain expectancy for tattoos, if you have never been tattooed before, I would say it is a slow irritation that your body becomes less and less able to withstand over time. The first person who ever told me about tattoos, they said it felt like someone touching their sunburn, and I think that this is really relatable because we can all remember and experience how a bad sunburn would feel. I would say another part of the tattoo that really hurts over time is the wiping. Your tattoo artist is going to wipe your tattoo with a paper towel, wiping the ink as they go so they can see where they're working. This wiping, you can understand, after 50 wipes, is going to start to hurt you and be abrasive. And the more tattoo ink is on your skin, the more an open sore is exposed, because your tattoo is almost like a wound because it does heal. But I would say being tattooed is a unique experience, and I can tell you what it feels like, but you kind of have to experience it on your own. Like I said, I run into people who say that their tattoos don't hurt, and I have to examine them and try to understand what it's like to be them, because my tattoos hurt me very greatly, and I just can't even imagine. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you are tattooed, like I said, the core out is kind of how I explain how much it hurts. My neck or like behind my ear is not tattooed, so definitely tell us down below how that felt. When I was getting my armpit tattooed, I will tell you that pain radiated to my neck, and I could feel my neck hurting, if that makes sense. Anyway, love you guys, and until next week, stay tuned for a video all about my cover-up on my arm. I know you guys have been patiently waiting for that. And cover-ups versus tattoo removal, April 4th for my back piece. And I love you guys. Sorry if I rambled or if I look like I have a black eye. Have you ever experienced tattoo hangover? I have right now. Ugh. Someone make me a smoothie. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Talk Tuesday. Tattoo Talk Tuesday is our weekly Q&A all about tattoo talk, where